Hi, I'm Iona. I'm a 21-year-old student heading into my fourth and final year of university, and I'm trying to slow down my daily routine. Slowing down will look different for each and every person, but for me, I'm trying to implement small habits and make changes so I can fully enjoy my life that I have here for my final year in the city. One habit I'm not the biggest fan of is my morning scroll. Like many, I find the first thing I do after I turn off my alarms in the morning is go on my phone. And not only is this starting my morning with comparison and a habit that often leads me to stay in bed longer than I should, but it's allowing a guilt to fill my mind that my life isn't busy enough and that my mornings aren't productive enough. This mindset is something I really want to challenge, because as somebody who likes to stay busy and feel productive, I set out to try and find a good balance without the negative comparison or mindset that stems from scrolling first thing. So, here's how it went. It's currently an hour after I woke up. It's 10:40. Or an hour after I got up, I should say. I actually haven't moved in any kind of context of I just got up and got ready for the day, and then I just responded to all my messages there, which to be fair only took me 10 minutes, so nothing too crazy. But I actually don't have anything in the house for my breakfast, so my plan of the day is go and get some food from the shops because I need to eat. Then I was thinking I would go to the gym before I go to work this afternoon. I start work at 3:30, so I have a wee bit of time. My body is still pretty sore from the hike. Yesterday my body was really sore, mainly when I stopped moving. I went to work in the morning at 6 a.m. And it was fine because I was still kind of moving my body and moving around, and then as soon as I stopped, oh, she was in agony. So I think I kind of want to go to the gym for just a wee bit and kind of like move my body a wee bit just to kind of make sure that I'm not gonna actually what's the word, like cramp up every time I move, because that's kind of how I was feeling towards last night. I haven't really scrolled. Currently I don't notice really a difference, but we shall see. And I'm just gonna go to the shops really quickly, so I'm gonna try and do that in like 20 minutes if I can. Speed run. It really doesn't look like I've moved at all this morning, but in reality I feel like I actually haven't done that much with my morning. Like I just got up and I went to the shops and got my breakfast, and now I'm sat with my breakfast. I haven't had this in a while, but there was a long period of time where this is what I was eating every single day, and it's like Weetabix with banana, berries, yogurt and walnuts, and then some cinnamon, and it is really good. What I was gonna say, I'm gonna go on a little tangent for all of like 2 minutes while I let my breakfast cool down a wee bit. It's currently 11:45 and I'm just sat down with my breakfast now. So I've had quite the slow morning, quite the relaxing morning in some aspects of I haven't done a million things before midday. However, I'm trying to get into a better mindset about things, because one of the things that really frustrates me about living in the city is this desire to have done a million things by midday. The only people that are telling me this is like social media. A lot of the content I consume is the content that obviously like I end up reflecting on my channel or like in my daily day-to-day life. So the content that I'm consuming is other people's lives, and they're like daily vlogs, their productive morning routines, this, that, the next thing. And I find myself feeling the need to do that as well to be successful in whatever life I'm leading. But today I slept in till 9:30 and I had a really slow paced morning because I didn't actually do anything that much with my morning other than go and get my food shop for the week. But there is still this part of me, even though I haven't sat and I haven't scrolled and I haven't like wasted away my time, there's still a part of me that is guilty for not doing things. By the end of the year, I really would love to unlearn this kind of culture and this kind of trend to be doing everything before midday and to be having the most productive life before the sun even rises, because I do actually work really early in the mornings quite often. The job that I have, like yesterday, means that I can be up and at it and I can be working from as early as 4:45, which is insane to be starting your job at that time. Like, I wake up at that time if I start at 6 o'clock in the morning, and when I tell people that I start at 6 o'clock and that I set my alarm for like 4:30, so I'm up by like just before 5, and they're gobsmacked. Like, it is kind of a shock to hear, and they go, oh, I don't know how you do that, I don't know how you do that. But then in reality I can also start at 4:45, which means I'm setting my alarm for 3:30. And that kind of thing is like, people are like, I don't know how you do that, I don't know how you do that. I obviously get up and I get on with my day. Like, if that's the time that I start work, that's the time that I start work, I have to do it. But then it means like I'm either finishing my shift at midday or just before midday. Sometimes I'm finishing after, and it's like 1 or 2 o'clock when I do clock out. But I have done a shift, and then I still have the rest of my day to like be productive and do things. And I do tend to do that. I do tend to make the most of those days, like when I am already up and I've worked for the morning, and then I have the afternoon. I try and make the most of the afternoon so that I like feel like I've done a lot. But then also I have these days where I've done literally nothing before midday, and I need to try and remind myself that not every single day I have to be up at the crack of dawn working and like being productive, because it's one thing to be literally being paid to work before midday and like start your shift that early, but it's another thing to choose to do that on your days off. My days off, or like mornings before a closing shift, I do tend to feel this stress of like not being productive enough, and part of that is a reflection of the days where I'm working. I feel like I am more productive because I'm up and at it at literally the crack of dawn before most people have even woken up. I'm really trying to unlearn this mindset, but it is really difficult to, because quite often I fall into that getting up early and having a productive day before midday. And I think that that's what the hardest thing is. If I had a job that meant I was staying up at night and doing back shifts every single day, then I think that there would be a lot more forgiveness for myself for not being able to wake up early. But because I know I can, and on my shifts where I have to be starting work at 6 a.m. and I do get a lot done before that time, like, I prove to myself it's possible when I have those shifts. So it's really frustrating when I don't do that on my days off. Saying all of this, actually, my plan is to go to the gym before my shift, which is still kind of an insane move to make, because yes, plenty of people do that. It's by no means taking the slow life, which is exactly what this kind of like series of videos is going to be doing, and going to be kind of like putting me to the test of doing. So I don't know, I'm trying to just forgive myself a bit for not really doing anything this morning, and it is really difficult, like internally, to try and praise myself for not really doing anything and for justifying that it's okay to. This is kind of vulnerable, I suppose, to be admitting online, and to be admitting to such like a small audience as well, because I really only have a few subscribers. So to be like making this series of videos is actually kind of vulnerable, because I know that the people watching them will be the people closest to me in person, and I actually haven't had these conversations with a lot of people. So hey, these are my inside thoughts. Yes, I'm gonna sit and enjoy my breakfast. Good morning. It's actually after 11 a.m. And I haven't really spoken to you yet. I filmed a few things here and there, but I've not really like sat down and spoken like I did yesterday, which don't worry, I probably won't go on the same length of tangent. But basically I just need to straighten my hair, so I thought I would just kind of have a wee yap while I do that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this lighting. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I put some gloss in my hair recently, so if she looks a little bit more red, auburn, that kind of toned, then that is why. Anyway, I'm gonna have a little yap because I feel like I have some opinions on the way that this week is gonna go. And it's only the second day of filming, even though it's Wednesday. Because I didn't film on Monday, obviously. I think this challenge that I'm kind of putting myself into, as much as it is a challenge for certain reasons, I think I'm doing it at the wrong time. And I'm saying that because I'm able to put all of my energy into not going on my phone in the morning because I have pretty much nothing else going on my days. Like yesterday I was working, but in the morning I had no other plans. So I was able to focus on not going on my phone and not scrolling. And like the next few days I actually have off, I somehow managed to bag 5 consecutive days off, which is really amazing. So like because of that, like it's gonna be a lot easier for me to not scroll in the mornings, because when I wake up I'm gonna be really like conscious of the fact that I can't scroll, and like that I am gonna be doing like just getting ready and stuff. And that is the thing as well, that's my second point. I have been just getting ready for my days, like waking up and just getting ready before I go on my phone, which, if I'm being entirely honest, isn't that difficult for me, because the concept of like no scrolling, yes, sometimes is like what keeps me in my bed, and like I'll pick up my phone when I'm still tucked in bed and all warm and cozy, and I'll scroll for a bit, and that's when it's bad. But also I still have days where I have to get up immediately, like if I'm waking up for work and it's an early shift and I don't have time to like lie and scroll in my bed, I do just get up, but then I still find myself scrolling later on in the morning. And that's kind of the point I was trying to make, was that I still find myself, like, before necessarily having any kind of major human interaction, I still find myself scrolling. So today I'm meeting up with my friend Karis. We're gonna go, well, I actually don't really know what we're gonna do. I'll probably take my camera with me because I think that would be quite fun, but I don't really know what the plan is. I suggested maybe going to like Stockbridge area because I actually don't venture down there like ever. So I think that might be one of our options, but equally we're probably gonna stay roughly quite central. Like Princess Street maybe even. I don't know. Point is, I'm meeting up with Karis, and like I have just been getting ready this morning, and that's quite a simple thing to do, is like wake up and put something on my iPad and like do my makeup and do my skincare, like that's, and now I'm doing my hair. Like it's not actually that much of a challenge. What is a challenge though is like at some point when I eventually go back to uni and have this kind of routine, there's my days where I find it really difficult to wake up. Like I get really tired at like waking up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Currently that's actually not too difficult for me because I'm not like exhausted from my daily routine. That waking up at 9:30 today, waking up at like 10 o'clock was like a lovely little lie-in, and like waking up at 8 o'clock isn't too bad. Whereas like when I'm shattered during term time, waking up at those times feels so incredibly hard, even though obviously my job requires me to be working earlier sometimes. So I think like as much as I'm going to continue filming this video and seeing if there is any difference that I get from it, I do think it's the sort of thing that like I'm gonna have to keep this in my routine. I'm gonna have to try and like keep these habits, and it's not just no scrolling in the mornings for a week for the sake of a YouTube video. It's gonna have to be like a lifestyle choice, because I don't think I will actually see any kind of benefits from 1 week. And it's the sort of thing like I feel like I could come back to this on YouTube and like reflect in maybe a month's time and say like, oh, I started this kind of like no scroll thing a month ago, here's how like I find it a month in. Because like currently I don't see myself actually gaining any of the benefits from just doing it for a week, because this week is not the norm and this week is not what every other week is gonna look like, because that's part of the problem of why I want to slow down, is like every week is different and every week is like go go go. But we'll see. We shall see, we shall see. I'm gonna finish straightening my hair and I'll update you later. But that was kind of just my thought process of like, I don't think this video is gonna have that same satisfaction as certain other like YouTube challenges or like people that do trends like no scroll Sunday. Like I don't think there is gonna actually be as much of a benefit from this video, because taking away my morning scroll for this week is not as much of a challenge as it could be for me anyway. But yeah, I will update you later. This is the outfit I just thought I would show you because I'm actually pretty happy with it. This is my outfit. The shirt is actually from a charity shop. It was like £3 or £4 I think, but I just cut it as well, which I'm super happy about. And then I've got my classic baggy jeans and black trainer combo going all in. I'm struggling to think of what bag is going to go with this outfit, but I think I'm just going to take one that kind of doesn't go and sacrifice the outfit, because I don't think I have the perfect kind of bag. Anywho, I'll be gone, so come with me. Well, good morning. Today is Thursday. It is day 3 of me trying to go without my morning scroll, and today I actually failed. I failed to a certain extent. I managed to get up and out of bed without picking up my phone and scrolling this morning, which I do find the easiest part. However, unexpectedly and very frustratingly, I ended up having a super duper sore tummy this morning, and I just kind of resorted to scrolling on my phone to kind of distract me. I woke up at 9 o'clock and it's currently 11:15. I only just got up and dressed and ready for the day within like the past half hour. And the rest of the time I was just kind of like lolling around doing absolutely nothing. I'm actually a bit frustrated. I kind of wanted to do this week kind of seamlessly, I suppose, so that it would be more of a challenge for term time. But what I didn't anticipate was that I was gonna be in pain, I guess. and when I have sore tummies, it makes me sound like a child, but when I do have any kind of like tummy pain or anything, discomfort like that from cramps or whatever else it may be, I do find myself resorting to having a scroll to kind of like take my mind off it. So that's what I did this morning, and I haven't really done anything with my day. My original plan for today was to be like super productive and get a bunch of things done and like go to the gym and like tidy my room and plan out a bunch of different things that I had to get done and sorted, because realistically I actually don't have much time before I'm going back to uni, and that just didn't happen. Obviously, like, I still have the rest of the day. It's only 11:15, but as again what I was talking about the other day, I just feel really guilty for not getting up and doing that like first thing, and for not having done that as soon as I woke up, which I'm finding really difficult to like deal with at the moment. I'm like kicking myself in my brain for not having gotten up and done things sooner. I'm currently trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my day and like where I'm gonna take it. I think I need to get myself outside and spend some time outside just on my own with my thoughts and kind of like force myself to stop. I've just got some shorts on and this long sleeve, and I think that I'm gonna put on my walking boots and just go to like Blackford Hill area. It's kind of in the past year been the place that I go when I just want to be out of the city. It's a really lovely hill and there's lovely walks there. I've taken a couple of friends and I've gone with Alexander a few times, but it's also a really nice place to just kind of like go when I don't really want to be in the city and I just want to stop. It does feel a little bit like running away, but I think it's just what I need to do today to kind of tackle this feeling when I don't have like these perfect mornings that are really productive to kind of like see the potential in the rest of the day. It's a big knock-on effect and it really frustrates me that I can't see the potential for the rest of the day when I've not had a productive morning. I don't really know why this happens, and it's this kind of like stuck feeling that I have, and it's similar to when I have plans or like when I have a shift for work in the afternoon, like later on in the day. I find it really difficult to see that time in the morning as time that I can use, and then I just find myself sitting and scrolling and kind of passing the time on social media because it's the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to try and not do that today and just move my body and get outside, and that's the plan that I have so far. Hiya, I'm on my bed currently. I feel like I haven't said anything in a wee while, but another thing that I really want to do more in general, but this is also a little bit of necessity. It's just be a bit more creative in general. It's something that really frustrates me when I'm not being creative for good reasons, and it's such a silly thing to frustrate me, but as somebody who is studying a creative degree, and I find that creativity is something that's expected and required, it can be really difficult to find that time to do it for the good reasons, for the reasons of just wanting to sit down and relax. Much like why I want to start documenting things again and why I want to start making videos again. I want to make sure that I'm doing it because I love it and not just because it's something I have to do. So I'm currently making Alexander's birthday card. I normally make my Christmas cards, and I do tend to make birthday cards as well, specifically for my family, like people in my immediate family. Less so with friends, but I do now and then make cards, and it is one of my favourite things to do, just to kind of relax and be creative in a fun way, is just making cards. I love so many different things though. I love being creative in so many different ways, and it's definitely something that I want to make sure that I'm doing more regularly, and just reminding myself to kind of like stop and think about why I'm being creative, or if I've not done it for a while, just to like encourage myself to do it, because that then has positive effects elsewhere in my life. And there's so many benefits to just kind of like doing things for good reasons, because they're reasons that you love it. So I've got Miranda on in the background still, and I'm gonna just sit and make his birthday card, and I don't know, hopefully have a really nice little like afternoon. I do have a bit of a headache, so I'm not feeling 100%. I've got my water bottle, I already had a cup of tea, so I'm just gonna try and enjoy today for what it is. Like I look super bald right now. Good morning. It's Friday. It's the last day that I think I'm going to be documenting my mornings without scrolling. Today was pretty easy, if I'm being completely honest. It was back to getting up and getting ready, so nothing too crazy. I woke up and I just had a shower and I put a wash on. I've gotten ready for the gym. Nothing too crazy. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's about 10 to 9. So I'm gonna go to the gym and be there for probably like an hour to an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. But I'm also gonna wash my hair when I get to the gym, because we're having a painter come and paint our bathroom apparently. So yeah, I'm just gonna go to the gym, and that's me. So, what do I think? I think it was a challenge in itself, as I began to acknowledge the inner challenges that I face when my life doesn't look absolutely perfect according to the influencers I see on my screen. Although getting out of bed without scrolling first thing wasn't necessarily the biggest challenge for me, I found this week difficult for other reasons, forcing me to realise I hold myself to an unrealistic standard. This change in my lifestyle has already promoted a new mindset, and one I hope I can take into the rest of this year, knowing my life is perfect just the way it is. Goodbye morning scroll, hello gratitude.